The issue at hand is that even though I am 14, I have realized I am lesbian. I came to this realization because I started noticing girls in my class all the time, and I began daydreaming about some in a non-PG manner. I never acted on it, but I knew I was lesbian. Boys never appealed to me romantically, but girls did. I also developed a major crush on one of my classmates. I confided in this information to my best friend via Snapchat. Well, my mother, being the loony that she is, goes through my phone sometimes to make sure I am not doing anything unholy. She found out my confession to my best friend, so to speak, and went crazy on me. The beating I received was not normal. I was called disgusting and a freak by both my parents. My father was not the one to lay hands on me, but he took great pleasure in standing and watching my mother do it. I'm pretty sure I ended up with a concussion. That same night my mother dragged me into the living room and told me she was going to bring me to the pastor and force me to apologize to him and seek help through the pastor. I was reluctant and I tried to disagree, but I was shut down. Next Sunday we stayed after church and my parents brought me to the pastor. There I had to do a confession. I apologized to the pastor and he scolded me, telling me it was more or less a phase and that I will find the way of God eventually. I came home and my parents seemed super proud of me. At dinner time the confession was all they could talk about. They were stating how proud they were of me and expressed that they were hopeful in me becoming normal again. That sentence made me shiver. That night I contacted my brother. My parents didn't know I had access to him. Even though my mother checked my phone, she did not know that every morning my brother and I had a ritual where when one of us needed contact with the other, we added each other on Snapchat, talked, then removed each other once again. I added my brother and he added me back. Then I came out to him. I had not came out to my brother yet, but I figured if I was going to turn to him for help I needed to be honest with him from the start. My brother was very supportive. He had turned his back on religion a while ago and was more open-minded to these things. I proceeded to open up to him about what had happened throughout the course of the last week, and he was disgusted with the actions of my parents. He told me he will try his best to do something about it. And so he did. My brother's girlfriend's dad worked in CPS and he contacted him. He outlined the situation and told him what was going on. He informed the dad of the fact that my parents lay hands on me too and that this was a serious case they need to look into. My brother told me that I needed to be in on this. He asked me when my parents would be out of the house next so he could come and pick me up. That's exactly what happened. A few days later my parents went to work and my brother came and picked me up. When he did, he saw the bruises on me. He was shocked. I told him that the wailing usually is not this bad, but since I knew this was the plan I figured it would help my case to have some evidence of my parents mistreating me. I was extra bold last week, doing everything I could to make sure my parents laid hands on me. My brother hugged me and told me I did not have to do that. He took me to his apartment where I explained to him all the abuse my parents have been putting me through, aside from just the lesbian stuff. I expressed I really want him to have custody over me and asked him the likelihood of it happening. He told me the chances were pretty decent due to his girlfriend's dad working for CPS and gave me a big hug. CPS will be starting a case against my parents soon. They are still at work and I am very scared of their reaction when they find out I am with my brother, as I have a handwritten note left on the table for them. Thankfully they do not know where he lives, but it is not too far from their house, so I am worried they'll be able to track us down. I have no doubts they will try to play dirty, but I am holding out hope this all ends well.